Hello, everybody. Welcome to Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John. I usually have a head, but in this video, I'm more focused on this and not so much my face. So, we're going to talk about pour over coffee. I'm going to try and simplify this. I've been doing this and I've been watching videos on it, and I don't know, some people get a little too technical for my liking because you can make things miserable. This is supposed to be enjoyed, this isn't a science project. So how do you do this? What's the story on this? Well, this is a pour over. They make many kinds. This is a Bowden. And with this, what you do is you take this filter. Metal filter has a lot of tiny holes in it. You put it here. You add your coffee in here. And then you take your teapot and you pour it in here. Now, there's a little bit of a method to it. We're going to go over that. I'm just showing you the basics. It's very simple, really. So first off, the coffee. All right. How much coffee do we use? Let's start out with this. Let's make this simple. Let's start out with 2 tablespoons for every 8 ounces of water that you put in here. Obviously, if that is too strong for you, you will go to 2 tablespoons for 12 ounces. And if it is too weak, you will go to 2 tablespoons for 6 ounces, right? You may have fresh ground coffee that you have every once in a while as a treat. And you may do 8 ounces with that. But when you buy store-bought, which is a lot weaker, you may do 6 ounces because of water. Not as much water because you want more flavor because that coffee is a lot weaker than fresh ground. But you play with it. We'll start out 2 tablespoons for every 8 ounces of water. All right. So you're going to put that in here. And I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm just going over this real quick and then we'll actually do it. And then we'll just tap it a little bit, right? Get it nice and even. Put it in here. Nice. Then we'll take our water. We're going to boil it. Now, let's talk about the water first. Use the water that you drink. You say, well, that's pretty simple. Yeah, it's pretty simple. If you drink water out of the tap, use that water. If you don't drink water out of the tap, because say you don't like the taste or you think it's dangerous or whatever water you drink is the water you put in here. Use your head. Obviously, you're drinking sparkling water, or if you're drinking flavored water, you're not going to use that, all right? But just use, if you drink a regular plain water, whether it's out of a bottle or you use some kind of filtration system, just use that water. All right, so we're getting this very simple now. Going to put the water in something and you're going to boil. These are good because you can control the pour. It's going to be a little bit important here. Not a big deal, though. We'll put it in this pot here. If you boil this water, if you use water that is too hot, you can burn the coffee. You can over-extract it. So 212 is boiling water. You want to do this around 205. So what do? You could do one of 2 things. Most people will tell you to leave it off the pot turn off the stove and leave it off the burner for 2 minutes or so to bring the temperature down. But, this has already taken a little time. So who wants to do that? What I suggest is you just take a piece of ice, okay? Just take a piece of ice and put it in there and then go like this, all right? That'll do it. It's that quick, it's that easy. All right, so we're going to do that. Now, when we pour the water, we're going to pour it evenly. You're going to try and keep from having a divot in there. So you're going to pour it evenly around the grounds. And you're going to do just enough to where it's a little bit above the grounds, and it's going to do what's called a bloom. It's going to maybe bubble a little bit. It's going to be a tan head that's going to come up there. And what that's doing is it's taking out the gases that are in. There's carbon dioxide, especially in fresh coffee. Your coffee doesn't have it. That means it's really old, all right? But if it does have it, should have it. We're going to let that gas kind of escape. And then if it's not trickling out fast enough, you can do a little bit of this here. Let me just say this about the grinds real quick. We'll get to that in a minute. We're on the water now. So then you just finish doing this from the outside in, slowly, and just letting it trickle down, right? Slowly, until the water's all gone, and that's extracting, all right? Now, this is a manual brewing process, and we're in control of it. But so far, this is pretty simple. The grinds. If you use grinds that are too fine, the water will have trouble getting through there. It'll over-extract it. It'll be bitter. It'll take too long. Too much will come out. It's going to take too long to get through those grinds. If you use grinds that are too big, it'll go through too quickly and won't bring out the proper flavor. So all we're looking for is a medium grind. You shouldn't have to experiment with that, but if you do, that's fine. a medium grind. You know, you don't want powder like espresso. And if you're making your own, you don't want some crazy, real big grinds. And that's it. So what I'm going to do now, I'll get the coffee. We'll actually put it in here. I'll show you. And I'll boil the water. And I'll have an ice cube in there. Oh, and the way I measure it, so I know that this is 16 ounces. All right. So I'll take this here. I already know that's what I'm going to be drinking. So might as well put the cup I'm drinking in there. So I will bring this to a boil. I will put a piece of ice in it. That's the way I do it to make it quick and easy. I'm not going to wait 2 minutes. And then I'll put the coffee in here. We'll come back. I'll show you how to pour it, and we'll be all done. Right? I'm going to make this easy for you. That's all there is. There's no measuring. There's no scales. There's no 16 to 1. We don't need all that. This is the perfect way to do it. I'll be right back. Let me get this coffee boiled. I'll be right back. All right, here we are. Now I put 4 tablespoons of coffee in here, and you can use a tablespoon, or you can use a real measuring. They're the same thing. Remember, we're keeping this simple. Let's pour this in here. I don't use a paper filter because I don't like that taking out my flavor. Now I tap it like that to make this even. Now this is completely even. Now let's do a bloom. I've got the water just perfect. Put a piece of ice in it after I boiled it. I'm just going to pour a little bit to wet it, and we'll leave it alone. There it is. It's dripping out. It's got a little bloom on it. Little tan head, kind of what you'd call crema in a lot of cases. Now as that goes down, I'm going to slowly, starting from the outside. Man, it smells good from here. This gives you a little different from a French press. French press is immersed in there, and it really extracts that flavor. That is bold. This will be a little less, but it'll be a different style. But it's still very good and still fun to do. And just go from the outside, getting all the coffee real nice. So we're not going to, this isn't a mystery. If you want to try, it's fun. You could try it with the family, and you can make, however much, find out how much this holds water-wise, and adjust your coffee, to 2 tablespoons per 8 ounces. That holds, 32 ounces. So just do that math real quick. Not hard. See, and this should take a few minutes because the whole idea is that it should take about 3.5 minutes. Could be 3 to 4 minutes. I like 3. And then if it goes quick, then your grinds might be too big. Say, and the water's zipping through too quick, you're not getting a proper extraction. If it's taken too long, then the grinds are too fine, and you may be actually over extracting, which will give you bitterness, which you do not want. So it's just kind of fun, really. Now, yeah, you'd say, I'm late for work, I'm going to throw it in the Keurig. That's fine. This is for like your day off, real nice. Or if you get up early. The last job I had, I got up a couple hours early because of stuff like this. This is part of relaxing. You're going to work, maybe it's, work's what it is. You want to have something a little relaxing first. If you can get up early, I get it. Some people hit that snooze. Everybody's different. But if you can get up early, do something like this, and then sip it for a little bit, watching the morning news or whatever you watch. Man, I go to work just so much more relaxed. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Now, you don't want to put too much water because it'll get up what they call underneath it, and this stuff will be swimming, and it'll go quick, like I just did. And, it won't get the proper extraction of just kind of trickling through. Now, some people do this on a light roast. I suggest this. Just gives you a better immersion. Get more out of it. But on a medium or dark, just do it the way we're doing. And you don't want to go above the coffee, the water, to where it comes out the holes in the filter without going through the coffee. See? It's important. But it's a slow process. But I don't know. When you use a percolator, that takes some time. So, you know, it's not hard. It's just a little time consuming. It's not hard. Nothing hard about this whole process at all. I've seen people make it kind of hard. I don't know why. I feel it's unnecessary. So we're almost done here. Put this last amount of water. All right, that's it. So let me get something real quick. Put this in a bowl top so it doesn't make too much of a mess. And it is coming through nicely. I have a nice cup here. Yeah. So on this channel, I do everything that has anything to do with coffee and alcohol. So if you're into any kind of wines, whiskeys, anything, check out my playlist. I put it all together for you on a beautiful playlist. I have different ways to make coffee. There's a playlist on that. This first comment on this video will be pinned, and I'll have a link to that playlist. Different ways. I make it so many different ways for you. And I do all kinds of coffee. I have a series going right now. It's pretty cool. It's I'm reviewing one coffee from every state in the United States. It's going to be 50 coffees every Sunday. I'm going to put it out there. It's going to take almost a year to do. I planned it for a long time. I love that series. I ask you to follow me on that. I talk about the states. I talk about the coffee. I talk about the place that makes the coffee. It's pretty interesting. I also do instant coffees, flavored coffees, hard to find coffees, expensive coffees, everyday coffees, grocery store coffees. I do it all. Keurig, everything. Every way to make coffee. Because why not? You might want to try. You might want to have fun. Do it. These aren't expensive. And you can say you did it. You can see if there's a big difference. If anybody ever asks you or talks about it, you'll know what they're talking about. All right, we're done now. All we do now, remember, I don't like a paper filter. Some people will use one. If you do use one, use the water, wet the whole filter. Take this off. If you put a filter on top of this too, dump the water out because you're getting that paper taste, and then put it back in. Or then just, put more water in it to make it. I don't like the filters. The filters take out oil, and the oil to me is a lot of the flavor. So the whole idea is doing these fancy ways of making coffee is to get the maximum flavor out of it. And so there it is. Look at that. That is going to be a perfect cup. I can smell it. There's a little left in there. I'm going to leave it. Sometimes you get some of the muddy grinds in there. Rare. That means you did it too, but that's fine. Too fine, but now we know this is a perfect. Look at how dark it is. That's nice. Oh, man, rich. Oh, that's good. I'm telling you, try this method. It's beautiful. It's easy. It's not hard. Don't be afraid of it. Follow me step by step. It's not a hard method. I challenge you to do it. I think you'll enjoy it. Let me know what you think. If you have any other tips you want to share with everybody else, if you want to disagree with me on things, that's fine. Let the people decide. I just want to educate everybody. I want to get them drinking coffee a lot of different ways. I want them to enjoy this. This is a gift. I love it. I've been drinking it most of my life, and I hope you enjoy it too. Thank you.